Okay, good evening, y'all. This is the man in the black mask, and he's here to talk about a man, actually a lawyer who got knocked out by a dude because he choked his girlfriend out at a bowling alley in South Carolina. Okay, it was first reported that it was a woman, but it turns out that that passerby was a male that knocked out that piece of shit lawyer that nearly choked his girlfriend to death at a South Carolina bowling alley. Okay, gave that dude a taste of his own medicine, and because of that, that lawyer is probably going to lose his license. And guess what, man? Karma is a you know what. James Brown's song Payback. Okay? Thank you, James Brown, for playing that song, okay? Now, let me tell you about what happened back in 2015 when I saw this match between Amanda Nunes and Ronda Rousey, okay? Ronda Rousey did not last 1 minute in that ring, okay? In fact, fucking Amanda Nunes, bam, knocked out Ronda Rousey before the 50-second mark. Yeah, it was 48 seconds on the nose. I'll never forget. That was the worst fight ever for Ronda Rousey. Okay, down for the count, just like this piece of shit lawyer. Wait, hold on. Okay, just like this here piece of shit lawyer that got a taste of his own medicine. You see his eye here? You see that? That's payback for you, baby. That is payback. Okay. Now, Charleston lawyer charged with assaulting girlfriend at bowling alley. Bystander intervenes. That was a male and not a woman. Okay? I don't know why the hell they would say woman when I don't know. They publish shit too fast and they sometimes confuse us in a way. But I'm gonna read it to y'all and then I'm gonna gossip with you later, okay? But I'm gonna show you this photo one last time for good measure. You see this here? Never ever put your hands on a female. It's a bad omen. I was raised and taught never to raise my hand to a female. Chances are this man should have learned his lesson the hard way. And he got knocked out cold on his ass by a dude just as tough as he is. So this piece of shit right here should be lucky his ass didn't get beat to death. Because most people would have killed his ass on principle for beating up an innocent woman, let alone his own girlfriend. But I'm going to read the editor's note as a precaution. This article and headline have been corrected to reflect the person intervening to stop the attack was a dude. A police incident report said otherwise. So now I'm bringing it back to you because the one I recorded was erroneous and it didn't come out right. So here I am, okay? Now, a Charleston lawyer has been charged with assault after authorities said he attacked his girlfriend at a West Ashley bowling alley that is located in South Carolina. On March 19th, two witnesses told Charleston police officers they saw a man, later identified as Kano Michael Dupree, 58, come into Ashley Lane. He started an argument with his girlfriend, then placed his arms around her neck from behind in a chokehold. An incident report said he also pulled her hair, witnesses told police. That's a no-no. Don't touch a female because you never know what's going to happen to you later on. Keep your hands to yourself, baby. An unidentified male bystander intervened, running up to Dupree, bam, and punching him in the face. He was knocked to the ground, pulling out some of his girlfriend's hair in the process. Witnesses told police. Go Rambo. Dupree was taken to Roper St. Francis Hospital for treatment for his injuries, according to the report. After talking to witnesses and Dupree's girlfriend, officers followed him to the hospital and arrested him on a charge of third-degree assault and battery. He was briefly held in the Charleston County Jail before being released March 20th on a $1,087 bond, records show. It wasn't the first time Dupree has had trouble with the law. In 2012, he was suspended from practicing law for 9 months after allegations that he punched and bit a Utah state trooper during a traffic stop while on vacation, according to a police report. When the car was pulled over for speeding and not staying in one lane, Dupree was shot with a stun gun after refusing to leave the car and behaving belligerently. He then punched the trooper in the mouth, splitting his lip, the report stated. The two men wrestled, and Dupree bit the trooper on the arm, breaking skin, before other officers helped subdue him, police said at the time. Now backtrack to 2003. In a 2003 incident, Dupree was arrested by Charleston police amid a struggle with officers who responded to reports of a fight at the Charleston Riverview Hotel. Charges in that case were later dismissed. The SC Bar lists Dupree as a member in good standing. Attempts to reach Dupree's office for comment were not successful. Now let me tell you, he was probably karma waiting to happen, since he was known to get really handsy with the women that he deals with. Not just the women, but the people that he came in contact with in general, you know what I'm saying? Such as that cop that he socked in the mouth. Well, guess what? He got a taste of his own medicine. I guess he's not so bad after all. A man twice as tough as he is knocked dude the fuck out. Just like Ice Cube's Craig knocked out Tiny Juice Jr.'s Debo at the end of Friday. You know what I'm saying? And then Smokey runs up to him, to Debo, while he's laid out on the ground, bleeding from his mouth and all. Says, "You got knocked the fuck out, man." I know a lot of you remember that movie. That is my favorite movie, Friday. And rest in peace, Tommy Tiny Juice Lester Jr. And Ice Cube, good job knocking out Debo. But I gotta admit, this lawyer had it coming for a long time since he couldn't keep his hands to himself. And let me tell you something. If he loses this case, he's probably going to get disbarred and lose his license. Okay? Whether he goes to jail or not, he probably won't be able to practice law no more after that. And let me say this one more thing. That man, a lot of people are probably seeing him as a hero. The man that Mike Tyson, that lawyer, and knocked him out cold on his big fat ass. Now, a lot of you are also popping the question, right? Will the chick that got choked, that nearly got Radio Raheem to death by Fat Bastard himself, will she go back to the dude or the guardian angel in question? Now, with the guardian angel in question, let me say this. That will probably make a good plot line to The Bodyguard 2. This time there's no Kevin Costner. Now, y'all ought to think about that. The Bodyguard 2. Good for that dude, man. I bet you Rambo would have knocked this fat ass out. You know, Sylvester Stallone, he's knocked out mad dudes in the ring. You know, didn't you see the Rocky movies? Yeah, I love the first Rocky. Rocky 5 knocked out Tommy Gunn. Why? Tommy Gunn knocked out Paulie in the bar towards Rocky 5, the end. And now Tommy Morrison, he's dead now. Okay, now I got a story to tell, okay? Let me tell a story. When I was 8 years old, right? I gave this kid a bloody nose on the bus for talking shit to me. I just punched him in his shit, right? And then next thing I know, I saw blood covering his shirt, got over the fucking seats and everything else too. And let me tell you about this other time in junior high school, right? No, I was in middle school, right? And I was 12. The same age I attended junior high school, okay? And on the bus, about a month before I graduated, you know what I'm saying? This dude that was making fun of me, that wouldn't shut the fuck up, guess what? I punched him 3 times in the face and gave him a black eye. Okay? A black eye. Similar to the one that you just seen in the photo of that fat piece of shit lawyer that got knocked on his ass by a random dude. Turns out he messed with the wrong chick. I hope there was some connection between the stranger and the chick, but you never know what might come out. Other than that so-called woman was a man that killed the shit out of that attorney. Yeah. So I blocking this boy's eye on the bus, right? And yo, he was crying. And this side right here, it was swollen on one side, okay? And now, fast forward to junior high school later that year, right? You know what I'm saying? This other dude who was around my age at the time, he made fun of me and everything else. And I was pissed, you know. I had something going on at the time, and I was jail-bound like most youth my age. You know what I'm saying? People go through shit, and then they start to act out, sometimes lash out violently against people they deem as a threat, you know? So naturally, you know what I'm saying, I followed this dude in the bathroom, right? No, we didn't even get to the bathroom. He was on his way to the bathroom. But halfway through, right? Halfway through, I kicked him multiple times in the leg, and then BAM! Delivered the hard punch to the face, and I made that piece of shit cry. And guess what? His whole eye was swollen. He looked like he had a fucking tangerine in his eye. It was so big. That was like a big bruise. I didn't even know I punched him that hard until I saw a bruise. But I hit him with all my might. And it was just one punch too. Sometimes I wish I knocked his ass down to the ground, which would have did me even some more justice. You know what I'm saying? But I must not have hit him too hard to knock him down. But I didn't knock him down. I could have, but I didn't. But I did black in his eye and I made him cry. And I got suspended for like a week. But I didn't care. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't gonna let nobody talk shit to me and not expect me to respond a certain way. You couldn't say something random to me in an offensive way without me wanting to kick your ass. Because I just might do it. Just like that stranger that knocked out that fat piece of shit lawyer that tried to Radio Raheem his girlfriend to death. And when I mention Radio Raheem, I'm talking about towards the end of Do the Right Thing, when he gets choked to death by the police. You know? And that's what caused Mookie to throw the trash can through the window. Yeah. So, but I'm going to say this, though. I sure hope that that dude that knocked out that fat piece of shit lawyer, I hope it's black. I sure hope it was a black dude. Not to sound racist, but I'm just saying, you know, because there's been a recent rash of hate crimes targeting blacks and Asians. That's why I'm saying this. And if you're going to be offended, then just get the hell off of my station and don't watch my stuff no more. That's all I'm asking you. But I'm just telling you from my vantage point. Because I, too, have been a product of racism, both as a child and as an adult, okay? I encountered and dealt with racism my whole life. So that's why I can talk like this. So think twice before you call the man in a black mask a bigot, because he ain't no bigot. Okay? He expresses political views with some of the stuff that goes on in today's world, okay? And never have I ever put my hands on a female. Because most people like that are viewed as pussies. You know what I'm saying? Ike Turner, you know, Dr. Dre, Flavor Flav, they beat women, and a lot of people have called them pussies. Just like this lawyer right here that, you know, tried to choke his girl to death and only to get knocked out cold on his ass. Laid out stone cold, you know? And when I read this story, I laughed. I did laugh when I heard it was a chick, but then when in later articles after this one person dropped a comment under my screen saying it was a man, I read it again and I still laughed. It was still funny. I just wish they didn't label that man a woman. But I know a lot of you probably wish there was a chick twice his size. Because trust me, it would have been funny. It probably would have made a good movie. You never know. But I'm glad that man stepped up and gave that dude a taste of his own medicine. It's a bad omen when you put your hands on a woman. Okay? Never ever put your hands on a girl or a woman because it can end badly for you. You never know who that girl or woman is related to. Because they know people just like you know people. Don't think for 1 second that you can violate a woman and expect to get away with it. Because you won't. It will end badly for you. So always keep your hands to yourself. If you're going to put your hands on somebody, put your hands on a dude to get respect. But don't never put your hands on a chick, whether you know her or not. That boy is lucky his ass didn't get killed. But I'll tell you this. He's probably going to lose his license. How he presented himself in court does not resemble how he presents himself out in public. In public, he's a total jackass who clearly deserves to get his ass whooped. Okay? He's lucky that he got just a black eye and some facial scrapes because it could have been a fractured skull, could have been a broken jaw. Hell, it could have been worse. And trust me, let me tell you, if I had caught that dude choking out his girl, guess what? I would have intervened too. The net result would have been the same on my part. Why? Because I would have fucked his ass up, okay? Because I was raised never to put my hands on a female, okay? A lot of people would see me as a local hero for standing up to this girl. And you know what I also would have done? I would have hit that girl up. I would have tried to get her number. Think of me as the black Kevin Costner from The Bodyguard. Yeah. I could star in The Bodyguard Part 2 just by knocking out some random dude beating up on his girl. Yeah. I know Kevin Costner would thank me for that. And I sure, and a lot of you wish Kevin Costner was there to thank the dude that knocked out that lawyer. Ever thought about that? Yeah. Whitney Houston got rest her soul. But like I said, this is one of the most funniest stories I ever read. I laughed when I read the story, so I figured I would share this story with you to present my political views, you know? Because some of the stories that I bring out to the public have my life and your life in it. So I figured if I can present it to the public and present political views on both sides, we just might grow together as a nation. Because that's what we need, growth, which is something that this world lacks: economic and racial growth. So anyway, thank you for listening to the Man in the Black Mask. You know what I'm saying? You've been very supportive to him, as much as I've been supportive to you for watching my network. So don't forget to like and subscribe and drop a question underneath the screen and tell me what you think about this bizarre story. Because I'll tell you, this is funny as it is sad, you know? Funny on the stranger part and sad on the man and girlfriend part. But I'm also say this: don't be surprised if he beats the charges. Because you know why? Because sometimes girls sometimes go back to their abusers when they say that they're going to leave, and ultimately they decide to just return, thinking that they can't live without that person that nearly killed them. So I sure hope that doesn't happen. I sure hope that she pairs up with the guardian angel and not that piece of shit wife. Okay? So pray that she don't go back to the dude, because this dude could kill her with her. And one of these days, nobody will be able to save her. So if you know somebody that's currently in a domestic violence relationship, whether it's a man, a woman, or a child, don't hesitate to call for help, okay? Domestic violence should be labeled as a global crisis, just like mental illness and COVID-19, okay? Domestic abuse is never okay. Don't be afraid to intervene if you see or hear that somebody's in trouble. So, again, the man in the black mask says, don't forget to like and subscribe, okay? Question underneath the screen. The man in the black mask, aka the king of bizarre, known for presenting bizarre stories to the public. So until then, good luck, be well, and have a good day. If I have another story, I'll bring it out. Thank you.